morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this day in the life vlog, starting in my absolute favorite way. I'm hoping you can hear the sounds of the birds in the background because that's just healing in the soul. I really do feel it. But yeah, welcome back. Welcome to this vlog. Happy New Year. I know I said that in the last video, but this is our first back to it vlog of the new year. So happy New Year. And welcome back. It is a Thursday morning. I've had quite a, you know what I would call it, a really wintry week of not a lot going on. Energy recently does feel a little stagnant, if I'm honest, but that is the energy of winter in some moments. So I'm trying not to worry about it too much, trying to surrender to it quite a bit. I feel like I need to give you quite a few updates. Okay, first things first is this has been the series of the Healing Diaries. It's going to continue to be the series of the Healing Diaries. For anyone who maybe didn't watch the first original vlog of the Healing Diaries, sort of towards the later half or the second half of last year, I just ended up doing a lot of healing work and felt like I really needed to in that moment. Was feeling really called for it for my own healing purposes, and to be honest, it's probably been the first time that I've just really focused on my own healing, the real archetype of the healer who needs healing, and that really felt it was needed. And you know what, we're still very much in this chapter, so whilst coming into a new year it might feel like a time where we move on to something else, no, it's even more potent, I feel, now. So I really hope you're enjoying them. I hope that if you're on a bit of a healing journey, or maybe you are just going through something and life is feeling a little bit tough and you're really wanting to prioritize your own energy and just work on your own inner healing, I hope these vlogs resonate, and that is very much what today's vlog's going to be. Coming into the new year, I won't lie, things feel very up in the air generally. I don't tend to share loads about my personal life, but I know I mentioned towards the end of last year that we were going to be moving. We still are. It's just very up in the air as to where it is that where our next steps are going to be, which is always really tough. I'm a Cancer Sun, Taurus rising, so very tough if you're someone like me. So there's that sort of playing on in the background, and I feel like I need to talk about it because at some point, God knows when, we're going to be in a different setting, and there's going to be probably a few moves this year, I think. So you guys need to be kept in the loop, kept up to date. But yeah, that's sort of one thing on the side. And then yeah, just coming into beginning to maybe visualize what it is I want for the year. And there are some things that, you know what, might not be possible this year, but I really want to think about what it is that is going to be possible and how it is I want to feel this year. And that is actually something I want to do with you guys today. I think we might do some vision boarding later. I have personally loved, I'm going to talk about this later as well, but I have personally loved leaving vision boarding till a little bit later because it's given me a lot of time in these first few weeks of January just to feel everything out. But anyway, I'm going to stop nattering. I'm going to get home. I must say it's unseasonably warm today. I have got my coat here, but I'm actually feeling okay in my cardigan. But yeah, let's go home. Good afternoon, guys. I actually spent the rest of the morning doing just a little bit of life admin-y bits, things like tax returns and very boring stuff. But it is now the afternoon. It is a very dark and dreary afternoon. I have made myself a rose and lemon balm tea, and I thought I would come and sit in bed and do some vision boarding. I'm not actually feeling too great. I had the sort of January flu flying around and it's just sort of lingering. So I thought I'd get really cozy in here with a cup of tea and do some vision boarding. Now, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I have left, sip of tea is needed. Usually I am the sort of person that does my vision boarding on New Year's Day. But actually what ends up happening with that, I feel like it's quite rushed and I feel like I need to get it all sorted, whereas I have really given myself some time. And now that we're a few weeks into the year and into January, I'm only now beginning to just think about it. And what I do today will by no means be the finished vision board by any means. It's just more than anything, beginning to think about how it is I want to feel this year and moments that I want to create. And I'm not really thinking too much about goals just yet, more so just how I want this year to feel. And I think that is a really beautiful way to go into vision boarding, because that's the way of like intention, right? Of like, okay, I'm setting the intention to try and feel this way or that way. And that is very much kind of my approach to it. And actually next week on Soul Shadow, we're having a vision boarding workshop, which is very exciting. So this is kind of me slowly beginning to pull myself together for that, so then I can hold space for it. Actually tonight, in about an hour and a half, we have got on Soul Shadow again a collective group energy clearing, which I'm looking forward to. We're going live and we're just going to do a group meditation, and I'm going to just do a little bit of distance Reiki and clear any stagnant energy from last year, and really just open it up and clear lots of space energetically for rebirthing into 2025. So I'm very much looking forward to that, but I thought I would give myself this time to spend vision boarding. So I think I know I've done this in a vlog before, so I'm not going to talk you through it quite as much, and I'm not going to do all the printing out and putting it in my actual physical vision board today. Today is just like maybe the visioning process, like the collecting. So I'm going to go on Pinterest and just really sink into how it is that I want to feel in 2025. Good evening, everybody. It is very bright in here. I've had to turn on the big light because I am just setting myself up for this evening's live class on Soul Shadow. But before we do, I think I literally have 5 minutes just to chat to you before I jump on with members. As I mentioned, I think earlier, we're doing a collective short meditation and energy clearing. So I'm looking forward to that. I feel like I could also do with this. It's going to be a really beautiful collective one. But I thought I could chat you through very quickly some of the bits on my vision board. This is by no means done, but there are a few things on here, and things that I've been really focusing on have been more things that just are very much within my control and are very achievable, and like the things I actually want to do and the things I mentioned it was how I wanted to feel and what I can do to do that, and like the smaller moments. I feel like a big focus for this year is the small moments. I feel like I had a quote on here actually that like show gratitude for the smallest things, small moments, and like the everyday magic and the mundane. And that is very much the vibe. So I thought I could talk you through, just if it will let you see some of the things on there. So first things first, like, oh, it's not wanting to show you. The more personal stuff I feel like isn't on there just yet, so I'm more than happy to show you. And there's no real, at this stage, goals. As I said, it's how I want the year to feel. So you'll see like lots of pretty dresses. One of my big things for this year is I want to wear more beautiful dresses. It's so simple, but I feel like it's really in tune with that feminine energy, and I love wearing pretty dresses, so why not wear them more on a day-to-day basis? So that is a big one for me on my vision board this year. Also just really beautiful visuals of how it is I want to feel. I feel like also on there lots of like fresh produce. I feel like this is my like kitchen era. I really want to begin to enjoy cooking, and I do cook. I'm good at cooking. It's not that, it's just that I do it because it's a necessity, not because I enjoy it and find it like a really meditative and enjoyable process. And I would actually really love to start enjoying that process more. So that is something on my vision board for this year. What else is on there? Yeah, so lots of fresh produce, lots of cooking, lots of slow moments, and that is kind of it so far. But it's so far from being done. That is just like the beginnings of it. But one thing I actually wanted to pop on and kind of chat to you guys about before I jump on with members, I've got about 2 minutes to chat to you, was I was having a little think about how I wanted, I guess, on here to feel this year, and Soul Shadow to feel, and just generally what it is that I share and how I want that to feel this year. And I'm intrigued to sort of understand your feelings about this, and I'd love to know how you feel about it. But I really want this year to feel like, I really first of all want like an expansion of what it is that I do. So I really want this year to feel like, the way I've been thinking of it is Goop, like Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop, which I'm intrigued to know how we feel about this, because obviously I feel like it gets a lot of like lashback, but actually it's always from men, and she is so often ahead of her time. So kind of Goop meets like Martha Stewart with her very like rooted, homey energy, with a side of like practical magic, because it's me and we need that spirituality and magic and sort of those moments in here. So yeah, that is kind of how I'm feeling about my work this year and what it is I'd like to create and share more of. And I'd love to know how you guys feel about that here on the channel, of it being even more wholesome and maybe sharing bits of recipes and like style bits if I'm having the year of beautiful dresses. Is that something you want to see? Is that something that you enjoy? I would love to share it. I really, really would. But let me know if that's something that you would take joy in seeing and enjoy consuming. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts work-wise and just general-wise and how I show up. Content-wise is there's just, again, I think it all comes back to this concept that I share so deeply on Soul Shala, which is this rooted feminine healing. And I think that is more holistic, that is more women's wellness in a wholesome sort of way, and the small moments, from what it is that we eat, from the slow moments throughout our day, through just being in nature, that is everything that I teach and that is everything I believe in. And I really want to share that more, and this just be really holistic. Obviously the yoga will always be there, but like almost embodied spirituality of like the everyday magic in the mundane. That is something that like, yeah, I'm feeling quite passionate about. So let me know if that sounds like something you would enjoy, if that excites you guys. I'm already sharing this on Soul Shala, so it would just be whether or not you guys want to see more of it in terms of recipes, outfits, just everything. I'm really hoping you're going to say yes, because it's making me excited thinking about it. But anyway, I'm going to jump on with members. We're going to move through a really beautiful energy healing, and then my plan for the evening is Jake and I are going to do some cooking, and then I might do a little lean class, and I'll chat to you later about it. Friday. I wasn't actually expecting this to be a 2-day in the life vlog, but actually yesterday evening after my hosting our Soul Shower live class, I was just feeling a bit rotten, so I decided to just have a very, very chilled evening. So I thought I'd come and hang out with you guys today. I'm still, you can probably tell, I had a bit of a rough night's sleep. I'm battling like the ends of like a coldy cough, and it really kept me up an awful lot last night, so hence why I'm looking a little worse for wear this morning. But I thought, obviously I've woken up, I've done my yoga practice. I did like actually more of like a yoga Pilates practice, one that I recently posted on Soul Shower and here on YouTube actually, and it was actually really lovely. I always create classes that I feel I need, so it's really nice to go back to them once I get over the fact that it's my voice. It's nice to go back to them and do those classes. But yes, with that being said, I thought that I'm here on at my dressing table, and I thought that we could just get ready together. Forgive if the bed has not been made to absolute perfection behind you, but I thought we could get ready together because I realized that I did one of these in a previous vlog, but it never actually ended up getting posted because it wasn't finished. So I thought we could hang out and do a get ready with me. So with that being said, yeah, have a little bit of a chit chat, have a little bit of a get ready. I don't think I've done one of these for like, that was getting in the way. I don't think I've done one of these for like a year, over a year, probably since 2023 to be honest. And I do get a fair few questions about my like makeup routine and things like that, which what I'm going to do today I think is I will put on a little bit more. Some days I literally just put on concealer or nothing and just go, but today I'll put on a little bit more so that I'm looking a little bit more human. I always start with a serum, which I think I've done my nighttime like skincare routine. This is pretty much the same. I always start the day with some sort of serum. I have dry skin, as I know I've mentioned before, so I need all the moisture, especially in the winter when it's like all the dry air. I also am obsessed with, or like I swear by, using a facial mist. I've heard quite a few skincare people say that this is like the key, especially with dehydrated skin. So I was previously, I think I showed you guys, I was previously using a different one that I literally picked up randomly from the pharmacy, but I treated myself to this one recently, and this is honestly gorgeous. It's the Candlelit Beauty Elixir, and it feels so nice, and I honestly use this all the time. I use it in the middle of the day. I even have a little handbag one. They came in like a little set. I don't know why that's on my dressing table. It needs to go back into my handbag, but I love this. It feels like a little like spa ritual in a bottle. I just think it's so great. I adore it. And then moisturizer. Again, I feel like I've talked you through this sort of side of things before, but I tend to use an awful lot of moisturizer. I also, with the facial mist, I saw something recently or a few months ago that if you're using anything with like hyaluronic acid, it's really important that the skin is wet beforehand, because otherwise hyaluronic acid can actually pull water from the skin, whereas if there's wetness on the skin, it will bring it in. Hopefully like that makes sense, but I did see that recently and thought, oh, I definitely need to be doing that, because as I said, I do have dry skin. I just realised that we did a chit chat get ready with me a few weeks ago, and that's why I'm feeling like I have explained all of this before. So I'm gonna, actually, I'll just more so chat generally about things. So last night, I think I started showing you my vision board for the year. And I was mentioning sort of the vibes, and I know I said kind of like Goop meets Martha Stewart meets Practical Magic is the vibe. I know that probably sounds really cheesy, but as I said, I'd love to know what you guys think, how you guys feel about that. I feel like that's already very much the vibe on the Soul Shower blog, which if you don't already know about the community blog on Soul Shower, it is free and I share lots of blog posts on there. It sort of started for members, but actually since I started writing, I've really been enjoying it, and it is open to the public. So whereas before people wouldn't have found it if they weren't members, it is open and very easy to find, and I love sharing things on there, just sort of like musings, things I've been thinking about, but also like maybe recipes, how to choose oracle cards. Like this is all coming on that blog space over the next few months, or even more recent. imminently than that. So I'm very excited about it. I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter because I really find this gives me that bit of winter glow that I need during these months. But anyway, as I said, I did a yoga practice this morning and I ended up just doing a little bit of admin bits, getting the class from last night uploaded for members who couldn't make it live. I don't know if I spoke about this in my last Get Ready Up With Me. This is insane. My absolute favorite thing. It's the Unreal Skin Glow Tint, Sheer Glow Tint from Charlotte Tilbury. I used to be a real Charlotte Tilbury girl, then went off it and I'm back. I really just think that I love a glowy skin. I just think that so many of her products are so great, and this is very, very, very light. Both of these products are incredibly light. I don't tend to wear like proper foundation. As I said, this is like a sheer glow tint. It's a skin tint. So if you like more coverage, you may not love that, but I adore it because I just find that, I don't know, maybe this is just a me thing, but I find that, you know what I think it is? I think it's because I don't know if anyone's seen these like your low contrast, high contrast, medium contrast in terms of like your features, and I am most definitely low contrast, so you can probably tell. And I just find any sort of heavy makeup really doesn't sit right on me. It looks gorgeous on other people and I'm always like, and don't get me wrong, I do it a little bit heavier if I'm like going out for dinner or I'm going somewhere nice, but for the everyday I just find it doesn't sit very nicely on me at all. So I end up having to sort of keep it very, very light, but I appreciate that might not be to everyone's taste. But yeah, that is, I'm just trying to think what else we've got planned for the day. I have, again, a little bit of admin I need to do. And then actually my cousin is coming over and we are getting some posters made because we are actually going on there are women's marches going on all over the UK tomorrow. And there is a London one, which is relatively close to us. So we are going to that tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to, but also like more than anything, it just feels like a really important time for that. So we're going to make some posters this afternoon. I'm not going to take you guys along, but as I think I've said this before, but I really feel like with the work that I do, and I'm so grateful for my work, like I love the Soul Shallow community and I love getting to show up here, and I really am more than sort of ever loving my work, and I'm so grateful to work with so many women in the work that I do and like be trusted to hold space for so many women. And obviously I talk an awful lot about feminine healing, like literally one of the soul like core values of Soul Shallow is rooted feminine healing, yoga, the soul, like that is a huge part of what I do. And I just don't feel like I can talk about feminine healing without acknowledging like the feminine trauma and like the collective trauma all of us face just through existing as women in this world. So whilst I don't talk about that often in my work and on here, I will always be where I need to be and sort of standing up for that where it's appropriate, because it's so important and my work is so intrinsically linked to that, so we have to acknowledge it. And I think it's just so important to have an active role in that when you have the opportunity to, because so many women, so many ancestors fought before us, right, for just the basic things we consider to be general life today. So it's never lost on me. But I feel like I've gone on a bit of a tangent there with that, but that is the plan for the afternoon. But in between that, I have a new tarot deck which I would love to show you. I've been loving it. I'm very, very excited about it, and I think I'd like to continue finishing off my vision board. And then this evening, I'd planned to do this yesterday evening, but because I was feeling not so good, I didn't really get to the point where I was ready to do it. But this evening I want to do a basically like a candlelit evening. So within what we're doing on Soul Shallow this month with the soft rebirth, we have like weekly challenges, and these are like soft challenges. And this week's one is to have a candlelit evening, which you know from this channel that I pretty much do that at least a couple times a week anyway, because I think removing like all screens, all artificial light, like really helps the circadian rhythm settle and really prepares you for sleep. And actually I can't think of a better evening to do this because I am exhausted from a not so good night's sleep last night. So I thought I could also take you guys along with me for that and we could hang out this evening. But with that being said, I'm going to continue getting ready and then I'll get dressed for the day and I will check back in. I might just, no, we've done this before. I'll check back in once I'm ready. All dressed, all ready, and I wanted to show you this new tarot deck. Now this is relatively new. The silks didn't come with it, it's just from one of my other decks that it came with, but this is my new, I'm gonna call it my new baby, my new little, that sounds odd, my new friend, but I saw this deck I think on Pinterest, which is where I find most of my decks if I'm honest, and I just actually didn't have a like earthy, very rooted, like soft deck. I didn't have one of those. All of my decks are quite like esoteric and ethereal, which I love, but I just saw that and I thought that would be like the most beautiful addition to my collection really. So I can't remember if I showed this to you in the last video. If I did, you'll have to bear with me, but this is the new deck. It is the Oak, Ash and Thorn. Is that right? Yes, the Oak, Ash and Thorn deck by Stephanie Burrows, and this is beautiful. This is such a lovely little deck. Look, that's the full card with little baby deer. It is like all little woodland creatures, and it feels so gentle and soft and like so approachable and friendly, which I really love about it. I just think it is so unbelievably sweet. Like the squirrels, the suit of cups is all squirrels. I think the wands are foxes, the swords are crows. I just think this is one of the most stunning decks and I have absolutely like loved playing with it. The pentacles are, I think, hares, rabbits or hares, but I just thought they are so sweet and I'm really enjoying. Obviously I haven't been reading for others with this deck just yet. I've been sort of doing my own readings and just getting to know it. That is one of my favorite cards. The moon came up for me in a reading the other day. I'm really loving this deck. So yes, I feel like I always come on here and chat decks and whatnot, so that is a new favorite deck that I'm loving. I might do a little reading for myself later, but the plan for the rest of the afternoon, actually I think I'm going to finish chatting to you guys here and then we can finish this vlog on a little montage. But yeah, as I said earlier, the plan for this evening is I am making posters with my cousin, but then after that my plan is to have a really lovely candlelit evening and really do our Soul Shallow weekly challenge and take a real nice evening to wind down. If you guys would like to see a more in-depth, maybe like winter wind down or just like an evening wind down routine, let me know and I can do an entire video on that. But otherwise, I'm sending you so much love. I'm so happy that you are here. Thank you for joining me for this first sort of vlog back to normal vibe. I'm sending you so much love and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.